Hello. Do you know what is ER, EMS, ED, CPR, AED? In English, it's quite typical they use these kinds of words, and you might really need it if you get in some trouble, some accident happens, and you have to call the emergency, and you will need the help of paramedics, right? They will be asking you on the phone who's calling, what happened, when it happened, and things like that, and you need to know what to say. So in this video, we're gonna have a look at all of that. Well, you would be calling probably in some serious situations, right? So the first thing can happen is that you're feeling chest pain or somebody else is feeling chest pain. Here I heard a story about a girl who thought that angina is just tonsillitis, and she came to the hospital telling them that she had angina, and they checked everything about her heart because angina actually is chest pain, yeah? There's the danger of getting a heart attack. Another thing that you can be telling them is that you have difficulty breathing. Yes, I have difficulty breathing. Another accident that can happen is that somebody falls off something. We use here the preposition O and double F, off, yeah, so I fell off a ladder or I fell off a roof. The worst case that can happen is that the person is unconscious. Yes, here we use the thing called ABC. So you check the airways if the passages aren't blocked. Then you check breathing and you check the circulation. Yes, so if the heart is beating, that's super important. Then they might ask you to perform the CPR. CPR is cardiopulmonary resuscitation, which is the heart massage. Yes, it's also called chest compressions. Maybe they will tell you to find an AED. AED is the machine that does this automatically, and there is a much higher chance of saving the person who's in trouble. Yeah. Then in putting them in the recovery position where the spine is stabilized, that's another thing that you might be asked to do. Yeah. Another serious but very nice and pleasant thing could be when a woman is in labor. Yes, so it means that she is about to give birth. They might ask you, has the water broken? You'll say, yes, the water broke an hour ago. Okay? So they will guide you and tell you what to do. Now about the not so serious ones, but also unpleasant accidents. Somebody might break a bone, yeah? So you can say, my leg is broken. They also call it a fracture, yeah? So for example, your femur is fractured in 7 pieces. Or they can have broken ribs. Yeah, ribs are in the rib cage. That is one of the things that causes difficulty breathing. If there is bleeding but not so horrible, they might ask you to apply pressure on the wound. Yeah, we read this wound, not wound, as I heard many times. If you're in the mountains, there is a risk of frostbite. Some frostbite, if it's horrible, is called severe frostbite. Yeah, this word is stressed on the second syllable, severe. If it's cold, there's also risk of hypothermia. Hypothermia, yeah, very dangerous. The opposite of that is a heat stroke. That's what happens when you spend too much time in the sun. And that can lead definitely to vomiting. Vomiting, nausea. Nausea is when you just don't feel really very good. You can also be dizzy. It means your head is spinning. Yeah, I feel dizzy. Quite dangerous is if there is an allergic reaction to something, okay? Because then the person can start suffocating. It means they can't breathe. Which reminds me of choking. Choking happens when you swallow something and it blocks your airways, so you can't breathe. Yes, then you have to perform this maneuver. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but you better Google it. Yeah. If there are some problems with muscles, they can be called cramps or convulsions. Yeah. Maybe if the person is epileptic, it can happen. If you cut yourself, you will say, I have cut my, and then you need to know the body part which you have cut. Okay? Fever is also an issue. we say fever, or we also say high temperature. You have to be responsible and assess the situation correctly. And, you know, if you call the emergency when it's unnecessary, they're not going to be happy about it. Trust me that. Yeah? So be safe, okay? And learn the body parts is super important, and also learn everything related to illnesses and conditions that you suffer from. If you get in trouble abroad, you know, this might be crucial. Yeah? But I hope you never will get in trouble. Okay? Safe travels.